Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Dara Abigail Firoos. I'm a college student from English Education Department, Teachers Training and Education Faculty, Pekalongan University. Now, I want to present my article. The title is Character Education in David AYER'S Suicide Squad as Teaching Learning Media for PROFIL PELAJAR Pancasila. Introduction. A good national character needs to be formed and nurtured to increase human resources. PROFIL PELAJAR Pancasila is the vision and mission of the Ministry of Education and Culture contained in the regulations Minister of Education and Culture number 22 of 2020 regarding strategic plans Ministry of Education and Culture of the year 2020 until 2024. The goal is to develop capabilities and shape the nation's character and civilization with dignity in the context of educating the life of nation, aiming at developing the potential of students to become people of faith and devotion to God, to have noble, healthy, knowledgeable, capable, independent, and become democratic and responsible citizens. To create a profile PELAJAR Pancasila need the formation and strengthening of character education for students. Character education is an education that teaches character, morals, behavior, and personality. Character education is a growing discipline with the deliberate attempt to optimize students' ethical behavior. Character education is necessary to realize an output of all the implementation of learning. It is a process to develop in students an awareness as an independent and dignified citizen is willing to find that independence and sovereignty. Teacher innovation is needed in choosing media according to learning needs, activities to create effective and efficient learning activities so that the material presented by teachers to students can be understood optimally. The use of media itself is for making teaching learning easier for students and teachers. The media can be from many sources as long as the media gives positive change in the learning process. One of the learning media is a movie. Among the characteristics contained in a movie, media is how to enjoy it, needed concentration so it can give psychological influence of the audience. They will think critically and learn from the movie. The movie is very effective in growing the ability to think students critically because students can fantasize, so teachers can create an atmosphere of learning that is more interesting and efficient than before. The film that will be used in this research is Suicide Squad. It reveals positive things related to social and environmental. Finding and discussion. First, character education in Suicide Squad. There are several main character education that is identified from Suicide Squad. The character education values identified from the film consist of trustworthy, comradeship, and empathy. Trustworthy, as defined by Ministry of Education and Culture, Republic of Indonesia for the year 2020 until 2024, the character education value of trustworthy is included in the category of noble character towards human beings in PROFIL PELAJAR Pancasila. The value of being trustworthy is reflected by the characters in Suicide Squad as seen in the following scene and dialogues. The scene and dialogue above is taken from the film where El Diablo initially denied to participate in the mission as he is afraid of hurting more people because of the power he possessed. Despite denying to participate in the fight, Diablo finally helped the team when the condition gets harder, which further reflected the sense of responsibility and protection he has for the team. Diablo uses his firepower to burn the witch soldiers and successfully handles the crisis that is happening at the moment. Harley's U-turns that acknowledge Diablo's attempt in fulfilling his responsibility as the part of the team highlights Diablo's trustworthiness that is being appreciated not only by Harley but also from the rest of Suicide Squad. Comradeship. The representation of comradeship as character education is seen from the interaction between the Suicide Squad members where they have their own bond to each other and they do not leave anyone behind. Relating to PROFIL PELAJAR Pancasila, Ministry of Education and Culture, Republic of Indonesia, determined comradeship as one of the elements in global diversity. Comradeship as global diversity element refers to how an individual is able to acknowledge and respect the diversity while also build a good teamwork within the diverse environment. Character education value of comradeship is analyzed from the film below. The comradeship is seen from the scene and dialogue above where Diablo managed to break Enchantress' spell and proceed to get the rest conscious too. This particular action is a form of comradeship as Diablo feels responsible and empathizes with the other member by approaching them with the reality that actually happening. Diablo's action results in Deadshot, Harley, and Flag to regain their consciousness. Aside from practicing teamwork, Diablo's action is based on the feeling of comradeship he has for the team as he can just run away from the scene, leaving others behind, but he does not. Comradeship or the strong bond of friendship shared between the Suicide Squad members is what makes their teamwork strong and overcome difficulties together. Next is empathy. The particular character education value of empathy is included in the category of mutual cooperation in PROFIL PELAJAR Pancasila. As determined by Ministry of Education and Culture Republic of Indonesia, the category of mutual cooperation includes the aspect of empathy where the individuals are expected to care about each other and proactive in order to create excellent teamwork. The scene with the evidence of empathy is in the following. The scene and dialogue above shows El Diablo talking to Deadshot while the rest of Suicide Squad listening to their backstory. Deadshot tells them that he almost trusts Flack's deceiving offer as if it is possible for him to get his life back as a normal father despite his job as a hitman. However, Diablo approaches Deadshot with empathy by also telling his life story and how he is such a huge sinner for killing his wife and children. This is a form of empathy where he relates to Deadshot regret and pain with his own. This is also considered as how Diablo processed his pain into responsibility to do the right thing, which is getting punished and not involved into other criminal doing. The function of empathy amongst the group strengthens their bonds as a team and manage to go through the difficult times together. Second finding and discussion is character formation in Suicide Squad. The analysis of the character formation referred to the theory of character formation by Campbell and One, as well as the perception of Freudian psychoanalysis that determines how one's personality is developed. The identified character formations reflected from the characters in Suicide Squad are physical and social environment and specific situation and roles that elicited corresponding behavior. The evidence gathered from the film along with the description are presented in the following section. General physical and social environment. General physical and social environment. The first character formation is determined through the general physical and social environment. This is also determined through Freudian's psychoanalysis through the concept of id, ego, and superego. The correlation between id, ego, and superego in Freudian psychoanalysis further leads to the formation of personality or character from an individual as it shows from their behavior and their interaction with other people. The first character formation from Deadshot, the hitman, is seen through the social environment condition as he is fully oriented for the money to actually afford a proper life for himself, his daughter, and his sick ex-wife. This is seen from the following scene and dialogue between Deadshot and his elite client. The particular scene and dialogues between Deadshot and his client demonstrated how the transaction is being held. Deadshot as a hitman has elite clientele who mostly come from the governmental circles, which causes him as the most wanted hitman in the world. His profession as a hitman is done for the money, despite that Deadshot is a father to a little girl and also an ex-husband to his sick ex-wife. This what makes Deadshot even the top-tier criminal, still has various factors that build his character as a criminal yet also as a charming leader and loving father. Moreover, the character formation also relates to defense mechanism in terms of transference of defense. Deadshot and his extreme measures of turning into a criminal after dealing with poverty highlights defense mechanism of rationalization. Freud explains that rationalization in transference of defense causes an individual to disregard the full consequences of an action for certain justification. This is demonstrated from Deadshot's character formation into a criminal where he shoots people as his job in order to crawl out poverty. Deadshot does not consider the moral perception in his choice of job, and instead he is justifying as serving the bad people of the government with proper action of judgment. Next is specific situation and roles. Another aspect of character formation identified from the character in Suicide Squad is the factor of specific situation and roles. Relating to Freudian's psychoanalysis, certain situation and roles that human beings have within particular society that establish greater force refers to the aspect of superego from an individual's personality. The first character with specific situation and roles that affected their character formation is Harley Quinn. From the scene and dialogue above, Harley's life background is revealed. Her past as a psychiatrist is narrated by Waller, as well as the beginning of her career as a criminal. The reason behind Harley's madness is that she falls in love with Joker, who ends up messing with her head and turns her into his criminal partner. The specific situation of being in love and her role of Joker psychiatrist influences her character formation that change from a doctor into a criminal just like the Joker. The factor of specific situation and role is demonstrated through the significant influence toward one's character character formation, and in this case, Harley's as a criminal. Moreover, Harley's justification on her crime or her feelings for Joker is identified as transference of defense in defense mechanism that relates to character formation. Freud explained that defense mechanism attends to one's ego. This means that Harley's pursuit for Joker is being strengthened as she rationalizes the situation and her action to cope with the fact that she is falling in love with a heavy criminal. Transference of defense that is characterized with the absence of subjectivity is demonstrated from the case of Harley portrayed in the film and how her character formed. However, as she joins Suicide Squad, Harley grows bond for the team and actually shows loyalty for the Suicide Squad after being accepted from her failed plan to get away with Joker. It further highlights how one's character is prone to development based on the situation they face in life. Next, the teaching design for students' character education. The teaching design of this study includes the main goal to teach character education through audiovisual media in the form of film entitled Suicide Squad based on PROFIL PELAJAR PANCASILA. There are basic steps on how the teaching design for students' character education is made based on more bets and grounding. The first initial steps are determining the needs of students as well as the learning context and objective. The next step following the initial step are developing procedures and delivering clear instruction of the lesson. Lastly, the teaching design includes the testing and evaluating to determine the effectiveness of the implementation. The conclusion, based on the research finding and discussion presented in the preceding chapter, there are several conclusions drawn in the study. The study focuses on determining the representation of character education and its relation to PROFIL PELAJAR PANCASILA in the film Suicide Squad as teaching learning media as well as the character formation identified from the characters in the film. The first result of the study refers to the character education identified from the characters in the film. The second result of the study consists of the character formation factors represented by the major characters in the film. Suggestion. Based on the result of study, there are several suggestions regarding the practitioner and future researchers. Using film as a media for character education is considered as a good alternative where the students can relate to the representation presented in the film while also immersed in characters' life shown in the film. The study also suggests future researchers in exploring other aspects of using film as teaching learning media, especially in the field of character education, such as from the aspect of students' attitude towards using the media and how they implement in the real life. That's all for me. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.